established VO pros.
And curious fans alike get to meet and learn.
From the mega successful talent in voiceover, hear their personal stories, find out how they became so successful.
Learn their secrets and join them at the top.
Come on and get buzzed with us. We know that you have a dream. Go be all you wanna be. So come on and get buzzed with us.
And now, prepare to get seriously buzzed with your hosts, Chuck Duran and Stacey J. Aswad.
Hey everybody, I'm Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran. And today we are here for part 2 with Roger Rose.
Are you guys ready to get buzzed? In audition situations, do you have any tips or thoughts for, how are you at audition? Do you obsess or just go in, 1 and done, 2 and done? Do you just...
Are we talking about my dating life? Or? No, here's the thing. One of the good things about voiceover for me is, because I have produced a couple of movies with our friend Jess Harnell and other things, and some TV shows, Comic Book the Movie, available on for 3 cents and a duck. Anyway, but I've produced some TV shows and other things. So I always say to people, when it's not to do with me personally or creatively, I remove myself and I don't put my emotion in. But when it's to do with me, I said, you got to tell me, because I'm my worst critic. And so, is there things I do? My improv background, specifically in cartoons, and promo. There is no CBS, which I love this. Yeah. They don't show it to you. They expect you to be strong enough and a pro enough. They hand you the script 30 seconds before you go. Yep. And if it's a very special promo, I'll ask to see it and I'll go see it. But don't let me keep you up. But if it's 99% of the time, you better have your chops and you better go. And it's so exciting. That's the best part.
Because if you're from home, you're just hearing it. You're not seeing it.
And I literally got the script 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. And so it's up to me to create that thing, because they don't care. Yeah. They don't want to know. They just assume you know what you're doing.
And you need to know what you're doing. Exactly.
So say you're auditioning for something that is not something you're presently on. It's just a random promo you get. This is for a new show on Fox.
Yeah.
What kind of preparation do you do? Obviously, sometimes
I kill myself.
You don't know what. Sometimes the specs are.
Well, it's also cartoons or anything.
Right. Yeah. So do you? How do you break it down? How do you tell that story?
Well, but I'm sure you say this to when you have animation, or it's the same thing. It is character. It's what I do a lot of the time on any of these things for animation, commercial, promo. I'll do it, and then I'll listen back to it, and then if it's not there, I'll think of somebody. I'll think of a relative, a friend, and then I do it that way. But the problem is, and this is our business. This is the business we chose. I'm doing a lot of old Jews because I am an old Jew. Thank you. I got a pain. You hear the person then doing it, and you go, well, then what was I doing?
Yeah.
So you eventually, at this point in the career, and every day I rip my head out, because you just say, okay, this is the choice. This is where I'm going to go. And then you hear it, and then you hear why somebody got a gig. Case in point, what I told you earlier that you already cut out about how they said no CBS guys, and then I went under a fake name and I got it. But I can't tell you, there's so many gigs, and with a promo specifically, now it's either are they going to go for the voice of death, or Fox is the best example. I'm auditioning, although really I'm exclusively CBS, but on network. But Fox seems to be, everybody seems to have a little bit of puke in their voice. Yeah. That's what they want. It's their network. It's their toy. Yeah. But then I'm like, well, then what am I doing? I don't know what to do. Yeah. So then all you can do is just trust your instincts.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and not only that. You audition for something for Fox. You understand their style, and maybe you can deliver something that's you, but within their style, and give them something a little different.
But sometimes you hear it and you go, I never would have done that.
Right. You mean after the fact?
After the fact.
Yeah.
But it goes back to what was said, and that is I don't understand talent that doesn't listen to the radio, doesn't listen to the TV, doesn't watch the cartoon.
Yeah, that blows me away.
It's all it changes. Like right now, I've noticed in commercials, used to be, we want the real sound. We want it to be real. We want it to be very, very real.
Yeah.
And now, lately, and this is just my opinion, the last 2 weeks, it's seeming that they are going a little more forceful, where they're telling you now something. I was supposed to be here last week, and I did this gig where it was for travel, for a travel site, and I was a regular guy. And by the time I finished, I was telling you, you really want to do this, as opposed to, hey, you want to do this.
More selling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to just, it is really literally, you got to just let it go for a couple
absolutely,
of seconds.
man.
Well, I mean, and you get to a point, I mean, think back to those times in your career where, this is my thinking pose.
Look, he's thinking. No, he's thinking too.
Yeah. Come into the bubble, Roger.
Yes.
But those times in your career where you felt like you hit a wall, where you felt like the phone
mean
wasn't ringing,
yesterday?
the pager wasn't going off, whatever the time
Tomorrow?
was.
Not with your car.
But how did you push through that, or what did you do? I mean, did you
Pizza.
feel like that's it?
Pizza, crying, hiding on the floor.
Because there are people out there right now that are like, man, I got a plateau, or things aren't happening, or I feel like I'm just.
You want me to be honest, or you want me to kid around?
No, you need to be
No,
honest.
I want you to
we
be
don't want to kill
honest.
anybody's dream.
99.99% of all talent that I've met are idiots. And they're not business people. It is 51% your ability and 49% business. And it's, of course, love me, and all that, of course. But the idiots, they just be a business person. Look at the business side of this and then go, okay, I've hit a wall. What am I doing if you have the chops or you don't have the chops?
Right.
Okay, if you don't have the chops, take the
chops.
class,
Get
get the
them,
chops.
yeah.
You can get the chops. But then, separate from that, it is a business. It is relationships. It's how do I market myself.
Yeah.
But not market myself. I always tell people who are getting into voiceover, if you're spending past $1,500 and you're just starting, something is very wrong.
Yeah.
You should not be spending that kind of money. Did I just screw your business?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Spending money on
$1,500
what?
What?
I mean, making a tape, getting a site, doing
Well,
this.
first of all, we don't use tapes anymore.
Yeah.
It's all digital.
Ow,
Yeah.
that hurt. That
So,
really, did you see any red? Am I bleeding? Did you see any redness?
You
That
kinda-
just came right at me.
you-
Ow! Ow!
You kind of walked
Is it
into
swelling?
it.
Is it swelling?
A little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Can I have some ice?
So
Put an apple on it.
we're gonna monitor your advice here to make sure.
What I'm saying is that okay. What I'm saying is that the mistake that everyone makes is that they spend thousands of dollars and
Yeah.
they have no experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Get
You
your
can't-
experience, get your
There you
chops,
go.
then spend the thousands of dollars. But more importantly,
Right.
the 99%.
So what you're trying to say is don't make the demo, don't put yourself out there till you are ready.
But more what I'm saying is that they don't realize that this is a business.
Yeah.
So they're sitting, they hit a wall. They hit a wall because, oh, no one doesn't love me. Shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's don't be a pest, but also get out there
Right.
and be heard or be seen. And if you're not,
Knock on some doors.
99% again of the people who, and every day I get someone asking me to be in voiceover. I always say, okay, take a class, call me back. 98%
don't
have
take
never
the
called me
class.
back. They never take the
Right.
class. Then that 1% call me back and they go, okay, I took the class. I go, great, now I'm going to help you here. I always help people because everyone's always helped me, except
Yeah.
for you two.
Yeah.
And,
We're helping you right now.
We don't want your help. We don't want your kind of
it's
help.
so important to help everybody and
Yeah.
pass it along. And
Yeah.
animation, specifically, the animation folk are the nicest of
Yeah, they're
that,
really cool, man.
except for you two. And no, they really are. They just, except for that one guy. Which,
Who, Jess Harnell?
Jess, I love him in a weird, demented way. That's how
Yeah.
much I love that guy.
He likes you too.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
I truly love him.
Yes.
Yeah, by the way, we asked him, I said, hey, should we have Roger Rose on our show? And he goes, dude, you totally have Roger Rose.
Dude, you got it. It's
He goes-
unbelievable.
he
Wait, I got
goes-
5 phone
he
calls.
said,
I got
"But
3
do
people I
it-
got to talk to.
Do it now while he's hot.
All right. Speaking of pieces, how is it?
Yeah,
No, wait a
it's still good. It's still good. So, do you think, in your opinion, do you think that anybody can do voiceover?
No.
What do you,
You ask me? No.
what do you think you have to have
Chops.
to be chops?
Yeah.
Do you think anybody can have the chops?
No.
Okay.
I think as far as performer, it's just like me being a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't have the chops to be a doctor. I certainly would do the pre-check, but no, I don't have the chops. You have to have the chops. Now there's people like Jess Harnell, who is beyond choppy.
Yeah.
He got it right at birth. He's just that
Yeah.
guy, as I hope I sort of am that. But then there's people who can truly learn, who have chops enough to learn the certain things.
Yeah,
but
and become great.
But there are guys that I mentioned, they're just so stiff that they can learn a technique, they can learn stuff, but in the end, if you're a true professional day in, day out voiceover person, you got to have chops. Because, James Arnold Taylor, I mean, that guy is scary. He's
scary is right.
Prolific.
Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings. Rob
Jim
Paulson.
Cummings is one of my best friends. He came to my house a couple weeks ago because he had to use my studio for something because his thing wasn't working. And, I know Jim, he's like one of my most closest personal friends. And he's like, okay, Jim, can't open a freaking doorknob. He's, that's fine. Jim, this is called walking, but then he walked behind the microphone and I literally peed myself. I went I'm not worthy. I mean, I know I'm good, but I'm not Jim Cummings. I am not worthy. He is that good. And that's beyond chops. I mean, it's beyond.
You can't really learn.
It's otherworldly.
Yeah,
he is
exactly.
Also, the nicest man in the world and the most talented.
He is. So,
and Frank Welker, by the way, if I may throw out, has just got nominated. Talk about. I want to say how you passed it along.
Do you know Frank?
The Lifetime Achievement.
I've done a million cartoons with Frank.
Yeah.
We want to have him on our show.
Oh,
He
good luck.
doesn't-
Yeah, I know. That's what everybody says.
Frank, can I tell you this real quick story?
He
'Cause this
always
is amazing.
respectfully.
Okay, go ahead.
He always respectfully declines.
Frank
It's not
Welker,
his
for
thing.
you, for people who don't know, is probably the greatest animation guy of all time and everything like
Ever.
that. Frank taught me. I learned under his tutelage.
Yeah.
But to show you how I am not worthy, and Frank is probably the reason why, we're 1990 something or other, whatever it is. Frank is screen testing to be the host of a CBS primetime television show. 4 guaranteed on the air, $20,000 an episode. And this is the 90s. And he's screen testing in front of all CBS. In the middle of I'm not making this up, in the middle of the screen test, he goes, I'm not the right guy for this. You know who you want? You want Roger Rose. And they go, well, whoever that is, but let's finish the screen test. No, you don't want me. Goodbye. And he walks out of the screen test.
Wow.
I get a phone call from my agent to show up at CBS TV City, not knowing what's going on. I walk in the heads of programming at CBS. This is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And they're all looking at me like I'm some kind of weird alien.
Wow.
Because I think they could not believe that somebody had the cojones.
Right.
You got that one there?
Yeah.
To actually say, I'm not going to take this.
Yeah.
They hired me on the spot. I did 4 in the air, went right in the
Man.
toilet. But I owe that all to Frank Welker.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
what
really, really
a guy.
Yeah.
So did he do that because he likes you or because he hates you?
A little both. A little both.
I'm
You'll
kidding.
never get him to show up.
I know.
He just
No,
doesn't
he
care.
always. That's not his thing. No,
It's
I
not
mean,
his
What if we
I
kidnap him? With your help.
You know what you can do? He's big on golf. If you can come up with some golf thing, he'll do that.
I play golf.
Cool. A charity. A golf charity.
A golf charity, he'll do that.
Yeah.
He'll do that?
And you'll have to record him there.
Okay.
But he loves to
gonna
golf.
get you.
He is the nicest
We're gonna
man,
get you,
the
Frank.
most giving, the most
Yeah.
and talented.
Absolutely.
He did a voice. I just because this year people want to learn. We were in a cartoon one time, and I again, you always learn.
Yeah.
They said, okay, you are a raging bull that turns into a flying female unicorn. That's what they told him to do, and on the spot. And he did it, and you saw it in your. I mean, it was like, how do you do a flying unicorn? That's
Female unicorn.
female unicorn,
Yeah.
which are unicorns female? I don't know. Are
Well-
they unisex? Because they got the thing.
I think they can be whatever you want them to
They
be.
are.
If you could.
Oh no! Turn back time.
Oh!
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
If you could give advice to your younger self, what would you tell him? Not from Steven Seagal.
Don't get yourself in
Do you
trouble.
hear that dirty laugh?
Yeah.
So much.
Filthy.
Yeah.
So
Filthy.
much. Believe that you can achieve. Aim higher. Aim higher. That's
Aim
what I would
higher.
say. Everything that I thought and this is the absolute truth. If it's like when I was my younger self, I said, if I can only be in a commercial, if I can only be in a movie, if I can only do a promo, if I can only do a voiceover, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Huge mistake, because that's all I thought about was getting to that point.
Is if I could.
If I could. No, if I could only star in a major motion picture and be Tom Hanks. If I could be a network, and actually that's how the network promos finally came to be.
Yeah.
Because I realized, I said, if I could only star in a movie. Well, I did star in a movie. I'm so lucky. But I starred in a movie that made $3 and a hearty handshake.
Yeah.
I starred in a couple movies that did that.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. But if I had just aimed higher, which is confidence, and said, I can do it.
Yeah.
And when I was on VH1, I did a Michael Bolton video. They asked me on it.
Yay!
Hey, man.
Were you the love interest?
I was. And, hey, I just kept going, comb his hair. This guy said to me, and I never forgot this, it sort of haunts me. He said, you're not an ass. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you would be a gigantic star right now if you were an ass. And I don't completely agree with that. But it's sort of like aim as high as you can and make the goal as big as you can. So if you want to be the #1 voiceover person in the international world, that's what you have to aim for. You can't aim for, I just want to do a voiceover.
Right.
That would be
I like that. I like that.
Very good.
That's really
Very
cool.
good.
What are you most proud of in your life, man?
My children.
That's what you're most proud of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why?
Why do you think you're...
I'm kidding.
Seriously?
I'm kidding. Seriously?
No, that was good. Baby.
That was good.
That was really good.
That was good.
Because they talked to me.
Okay.
No,
That's
but
even better.
What is it about being a father? I mean, you have 2 girls.
Yes, I am menstrual central, baby.
Yeah, well, my dad had 5 girls, so...
Oh, is your dad, does he...
My father is amazing. He's my hero.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's say hi to
and
Chaz
my-
real quick.
and my
Chaz.
mom.
His name is
Oh, wait a
And my
minute. Hi,
mom.
Chad or Chaz?
Chaz.
Charles.
Chaz, baby. Chaz, I feel your pain.
No, my father is a saint and my mother is an angel. So, what do you think? As a dad,
Really, you're asking that, or you want to ask career?
No. We're done with career, dude.
No, we're not done with career.
He's done with
Although I
career.
will say, what's really a pain in the butt? My on-camera celebrity stuff, whatever that was really before I had my girls. So when a celebrity recognizes me, that knows me, or some big cheese person will say something to me, how does he know you, Dad? I'm like, like we went to the last Tonight Show with Leno, and the warm-up guy. This is not like the warm-up guy during a break comes over and goes,
Hey, Roger
He
Rhodes.
goes, I'm a big fan of yours, and I go, oh, thank you very much. He goes, Dad, how'd you pull that off? I go, did you like trying to trick
You're
me?
like, I was a person before I was a dad.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So real quickly, what are some of the big movies that you actually appeared in?
Well, Ski Patrol is the one.
Ski Patrol, I remember
Ski
that.
Patrol, Friday the 13th, Part 6, which, can I tell this quick voiceover story?
Okay. Do we have
So
a
I'm the
choice?
voice. You know how I got the role? I was the voice of death movies and stuff. I get hired to do Friday the 16th, Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Yeah.
I'm doing all the death voices. Jason kills everybody.
Yeah.
And I say to the director, Tom McLaughlin, they just had the 20th anniversary of this movie.
Wow.
I just got invited to it. I say to the director, I always wanted to die brutally on film. And I was just, I was like 21. And I remember
There
one of the
you
great
are,
voices. and
dreaming big again.
All right, 25.
I wanna die brutally.
So I was like, but one of them was I squeeze the guy's head and his brain pops out. I never forgot.
I hate when that.
Anyway, so Pez likes that one. So I told him that. Absolutely true. This is another great Hollywood story. Phone rings. It's Tom McLaughlin answers the phone. He hangs up the phone. He goes, "Wow, I've always wanted to do this. Kid, I want you in my movie." Paramount called and said there weren't enough deaths in the movie. So they were giving him a camera crew for one day to shoot in Griffith Park and add 3 more deaths. Wow. So he just put me in the movie that weekend, and I get killed by a hockey face.
Ah.
And can I do my line?
Yeah.
Let's get the sheriff. All right, anyway. So Friday the 13th.
Powerful.
Very powerful.
Let's see. Well, I don't know what movies.
Well,
Comic Book
what
the
are-
movie.
out
Comic
of-
Book the movie, which is really great, man. That was
Yeah.
some funny stuff.
Jess Harnell and Billy West are fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. What about, some of your past, some of your current projects, out of some of them, what are some of your most challenging or some of your most favorite?
Oh, by the way, there's another movie I want to mention is Windy City Heat. That's a great. That's a TV movie. That's funny. It's real funny.
Windy-
Like
Windy
most
City Heat.
challenge-
Jimmy Kimmel produced it.
Okay.
And it's
Kimmel, huh?
Yeah, and it's I think you get it on. It was on Comedy Central, and Bobcat Goldthwait directed it, and it's really weird, man. They play a joke on somebody, so it's a reality thing, but not because we act in it, but we didn't.
What have been some of your most challenging? Have you ever booked anything that you said, oh my gosh,
Challenging.
I don't know if I can do this, or what was,
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day is like every cartoons and every promo. It's scary as all get out, and that's what makes it so much fun. Every job is challenging. You mean, but as far as voiceover, or as far as camera, or
either.
Just whatever, yeah.
What are some of your most memorable, like, defining experiences that you walked away and said, okay, that was a moment?
Well, for me, doing Superman on Batman Brave and Bold, because Warner Brothers has to approve the Supermans.
Yeah.
And so I brought the creator of that one a picture of me when I'm 6 wearing my Superman outfit. And I still am wearing it underneath this. Actually, it's underoos. So that was sort of just, the role itself was really quite easy, because it was, this thing. But it was just the thrill. Thank you, Andrea Romano, by the way. It was just such a thrill. That was, I don't know, as much challenging as it was.
Right.
Getting
Just a
chub,
moment, your childhood. You get to,
Ooh. Can I tell you a great Kevin Michael Richardson story?
Absolutely.
Because
We've had him on the show.
So I bet.
Everybody you've mentioned, by the way, we've had on the
That's
show.
why I'm throwing it out here.
This is great.
Anyway, so Kevin's Lex Luthor, I'm Superman, and sitting between us is Tippi Hedren.
Oh my gosh.
And Tippi Hedren, for you viewers, was in The Birds, and and played. She was Wonder Woman's mother in this episode.
Yeah.
And so Kevin is this, just the most innocent. He's an innocent.
Yeah, he really is. But
And
not
so,
really.
so you're Tippi Hedren. Tippi Hedren was in all these Hitchcock movies and stuff.
Right.
And you're Kevin Michael Richardson. So Kevin goes, "Excuse me, ma'am, but you look familiar to me." And in cartoon sessions, we're always getting around and stuff.
Yeah.
And so her back of her head is to me. So I'm doing this, because she was the star of The Birds. So I'm going like this, right? Kevin is saying, "So, do I know you?" And she goes, "Well," and I'm going like this, and everyone in the room is busted up, and he doesn't know why I was laughing. She goes, "Well, I was in a movie called The Birds. You probably know that." So then she turns around and sees me, right?
Yeah. And she sees you acting like a bird.
So she's got a great sense of humor, and I'm famous for this with celebrities. I will, I did this with Pierce Brosnan. That's another name we'll try. So she had done a movie prior to this for Hitchcock called Marnie with Sean Connery. Yeah. So I said, "I'm sorry, I'm just making fun." She goes, "Okay, so did you have sex with Sean Connery?" And she went, "No, but I wanted to." And we're talking like this, and suddenly I feel like. Anyway, so
Only you would ask something like that.
and everyone's like this, and she's talking about how hot he was, and she really wanted to, and I'm like,
you're like, I think he's hot too.
So my Pierce Brosnan story.
Okay, go ahead.
It's quick.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm
quick.
at some party, and his wife had worked with me years ago on something. She was a former model and whatever else like that. She goes, "I know you, don't I?" I go, "Yeah, I worked with." She goes, "Would you like to meet Pierce?" And I went, "Oh, cool. Freaking James Bond, and he's tall and good-looking guy and everything like that." So she goes, "Pierce, this is and I go, and I look right at him, and I go, "It's all right. It was a long time ago, and we probably shouldn't say anything." She goes, "Pierce, I don't really know him." And he goes, "You're a good man. I appreciate that." And I go, "Sometimes men shouldn't be talking about our past experiences." And she goes, "Pierce, I don't know the guy." And he goes, "I'll always remember this moment. Let's walk away and pretend we never met." And I go, "Exactly." And she goes, "Pierce, I don't like this guy. I don't know him." And we walk away.
Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that cool?
That is beyond cool.
He went right with me, man.
He went right with you. That is awesome.
Yeah, it
Either
was so
that
cool.
or you
I
guys,
love
or you
it.
have another story.
Well,
I don't know.
So why don't we put Roger on the line real quick, ask him an if question. and
Roger.
Hello? Is this on?
Okay.
Hello?
Caller,
Hello?
turn your volume
Pick
down.
a card, Roger.
Ay.
Somewhere in the middle.
Anywhere you want, honey.
We're right there.
Okay. Okay.
If I could turn back time. Oh, we're back to that.
If you could work as an assistant to anyone for a year,
Yeah.
who would you choose?
I don't know. The timing was way off.
That's like spit take number 5 on this show.
Yeah, I know. If I could work for someone's assistant for a year.
If you could work as an assistant for anyone for a year.
You guys. No.
I was going to say you can't pick me and Chuck. We're family.
If I could be anyone's assistant, who would it be? That's easy. Martin Short.
Pray
What a
tell
great
why.
guy. Have you met him?
I went to this really, Steve Martin and Martin Short are
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
this story.
yeah.
I went to that thing, and then he signed autographs, and I
Yeah.
went, And he's like, here you go. But it wasn't like he was mean to me. or
Oh,
anything.
Yeah.
no.
I just, him, Albert Brooks, people like that.
He
Genius,
cracks me
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
man.
I think they're so brilliant at what they do.
Yeah.
Jiminy Glick, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
too.
And I hear he's a very nice man. I know people that know him.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, are there any imitations that you're like really, really great at? Like if you have like.
well, I do it you. No.
I sound cool, man. When you do me, I don't sound cool.
No, you sound cool.
So you don't quite got it yet.
Well, how many times have people come in here and done Christopher Walken? How many times?
Couple.
Gazillions?
Couple.
Gazillions.
Do you do
Has
a good
anyone
one?
told you the Jay Moore story that he tells?
No, I just
No.
want to hear some imitations.
Well, Jay Moore tells the story. He did. No. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't Jay Moore. It's my buddy Steve Heitner, who was was on Seinfeld. I did Seinfeld, and he's an old pal of mine. We did Ski Patrol together.
Yeah.
And he did a movie with Walken, and he said, so. I mean, everyone does Walken, but this is the
that's
story
already
of
really
first
good,
person.
though, yeah.
First person, though. He goes. So they said, Chris, if you had a tail, have you heard about this?
No.
He goes. If you had a tail, would you want to be a dog or a crocodile? And he goes, well, it's easy. I'd be a dog because, everyone likes a dog. No one likes a crocodile. Look, everyone's going, and
You
we're
even
leaving.
change your face to look like them when you do it, man.
It's
That's
strange.
Great. Any other one? That
And he
you
also
really good
said
at?
to him, he goes, how's my hair? and Steve goes, weird like everything else with you? He goes,
Yeah.
He goes, good. Because you got to go deep.
Any other great ones?
Let's see.
You can say no if you don't.
I do a lot of impressions. I used to
Yeah.
loop not Stallone. I looped the Rock, and I looped Schwarzenegger, and I met Schwarzenegger, and at a bar mitzvah.
Oh.
Get out of
And
here.
I said, "Excuse me, Governor. I loop you in
I
films."
do you.
And he shook my hand, and it was like, and he goes, "Yes, and the secret to getting that job, another
Yeah.
voiceover
Yeah.
thing. Everyone who auditioned, and there were some big names that you've had on here
Yeah.
in the room, and I got
Yeah.
the gig because everyone else was doing this thing."
Yeah.
And I go, "The guy can't act, so you got to go in back to the acting thing."
Yeah.
Everything he does, it's all monotone. He does it all like this. So that's really the way he does the thing.
Yeah.
So I said, "Governor, I do you," and he goes, "Yeah, I look really ugly and fat when you do me." And I go, No, I do your voice." He goes, "Right." And then when they see me and hear you doing me, they go, "Oh, he looks ugly. Oh, he looks fat." Wow.
Oh, he's got a little self-esteem problem.
So he tagged me, and The Rock, it's actually sort of him. You just sort of bring him
Yeah.
over here, and you actually, again, everything is very the real one,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. So.
That's fantastic. Dude, can I just say
Roger.
something? You are really, really entertaining.
We're glad we got to let people see you outside of your
Yeah.
promo bubble because a lot of people
Yeah.
don't know that
Thank
you've
you.
done so much with animation and anime and all of that. So
Absolutely.
you're always welcome here, my friend.
Yeah, and
Did you wash your
Hey,
hands?
don't look and listen, and thank you
sweetness.
for coming and,
Thank
and
you for
sharing
being here.
all your tricks of the trade and all these little ins and outs and stuff like that. Because I mean, you said some stuff today that I've never heard anybody say.
Let me just say something about C and S, or S and C. I adored them. I only have I for you. When Irish I, that's all for Jess. Okay.
Well, thank you for gracing
Thank you.
our
These
show
guys,
with your talents,
They are
man.
fabulous. These kids.
We wish you much continued
Absolutely.
happiness.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And we will see you guys next week with
Bye,
a whole
everybody.
new show.
Hi, I'm Rod Rose. I do voiceovers, and I just got buzzed with Chuck and
So sad. That's all we have with
I
Roger
know.
Rose. The entertainment is done for the night, folks, or the day, wherever you are. It doesn't matter. It could change. Anyways, we're going to be back next week with another episode. So hope you guys join us.
Yes, we will. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We love you, and you know what?
What?
You always have time for a little buzz.
Come on, come on, come on and get buzzed with us.
VO Buzz Weekly is sponsored by Chuck Duran's Demos That Rock. The voiceover demo producer to the stars is now available to you. Visit demosthatrock.com and take your voiceover career to the next level.
See you next time. And remember, you always have time